Welcome to a new unedited podcast. Today we are talking about guests and having guests and finding guests and platforms for having guests. I've been looking into the platform and what I need to find and what I need to do is to find guests because I really enjoy the conversations. I really enjoy hearing them, so I really enjoy make them. As every time I speak with someone new, I like to hear about their story, what their achievements are, they have been through to get to that point where they are in life and everything. And I think that's something that I really want to bring to the unedited show. This is a show, and as I've been talking, it's about me and my interests and whatever I can share with you guys so that you can feel the experiences with either me or someone else. So I really want to get into the interviews and interview people that I find that can bring very good incitements in life, in work ethics, in improving themselves, self development, everything that I'm really enjoying this far in my career. And I think this is quite the platform to do it. So I've been looking into platforms that you can get guests, whether because me usually for someone with podcasts usually start with friends and family and some co-workers and whatnot. But the thing is, most of the people I know are not too comfortable talking in English because actually I live in Portugal and I'm Portuguese, and mostly people talk Portuguese, and that might be an interesting podcast to do in Portuguese. But still, as I'm doing this unedited show, I want to talk people from whatever the world they are. So, and finding their interests in different places, but we get to the common stuff when we are creating content. And this journey of creating content, this is like something that I really find appealing as people share their journey into this. And what I've been looking into is platforms that I could connect with people. And I know it seems weird, so you can connect with someone you never met, but once you have the same interests, it's really easy. If you know someone who is self-developing in something, for example, they want to talk about journaling, they want to talk about improvement, they want to talk about anything like this. This is a subject that you can find common interests, so it will be very easy to talk with that person. And if you do some research, ask the right questions, this is very and fairly easy to do, I believe so. But usually it's about being interested in talking with other people and knowing what they're achieving and whatnot. So, and if they're launching books or whatever they're doing to create content and to live out of that, that's my main goal of bringing those people here to the podcast, to this unedited show. It might not be easy for some shows not to be edited because, people might sneeze, might do something, might want to pause, might do want they might want to do something. But I really feel I can get to some people that feel comfortable talking unedited, and we can have like longer conversations without no editing and whatnot. So this can be a challenge, and let's see what happens. But so I was on the internet looking for how I can do that, and actually I found this website, Matchmaking FM. I think it's like that, and there are a few more. And I was looking into this, and what happens is you create your own profile, you do your show, and you can create your personal profile so you can get interviewed, or you can put your own show for platforms for so that people can come and be interviewed. And I'm putting both, and let's see what happens with this. If I can get some people to be in the podcast or not. I already had this guy contacted me about someone that was very had a very long journey, and he was releasing one book, and he talked to me about making the interview. I hadn't had the time to get into that, but I really want to bring those interviews because I really enjoy listening to other podcasts, and I know that sometimes and probably it's just selfish to listen to this, but it's I really enjoy hearing about life stories and people's life stories and people's journeys, and really to get deep in that. This is there was this exercise that I usually do, and you might do it as well if you're like me. But every time I'm driving somewhere and I pass through some buildings, and I actually more at night I see some light on in that building, and I think, what does that person do? What's their life story? How they become to how do they get there? How do they bought that apartment? How do they get to live in that apartment? What's their life journey? Do they have kids? And I ask these questions, and this is usually some interest about knowing about not what they do and what it's not like knowing everything about a person that you don't know, or but it's finding those common points that can help you in your own journey. So it's kind of a selfish way to think about it, but I really enjoy listening to conversations. I've been listening to some really cool podcasts, and some of them I found that they have this interviewing kind of way that they are just asking for even for themselves. So they actually ask questions that they really want to know about it, and they feel that, and it feels like the person is being heard. So that's what I want to do with this unedited podcast. It's not an easy task because I'm in Portugal, and so most of the podcasts might be remotely recorded. And as I was going through that, I've also found some platforms that you can actually do this pretty easily. You know, you already probably know about Zoom and Teams and whatever it is, but there are some actually platforms that you can record both videos so that you can actually edit later. And there are some even more sophisticated that every time the person talks, and it already pushes out a video already edited and everything. But this is the unedited show. So what I would love to do is have a thing that I could change cameras and talk to the person in person. But as I'm here and as I'm growing the podcast, most of the interviews might be remotely, so that I can find people any point in the world with a life journey that it's interesting. And even for that cultural differences, that even though you could live out in China probably, and your growing up was very different than mine in Portugal, but we can find common points when we are talking about creating content, for example, or creating courses, or creating or teaching people, or interacting with people. So that's what I want to bring to the podcast, and I really hope I can achieve that. It's not going to be an easy task to have it weekly, but as we are doing, I'm if I don't have an interview, I'll just give you some updates on what's going on, or talk about some subject that I feel like it's appealing for you guys. So that's pretty much it for today. I hope you enjoy. I hope you keep publishing and liking, not publishing, but creating content also, because I'm here talking to other possible content creators. Even if you're not a content creator already, you might be thinking of it and might be something that you want to get into. And I'll be talking about those subjects also subjects about improving your own life, improving your own achievements, and that's the unedited show for today. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.